Hello and welcome to Second to Last Hit for Tuesday, July 24th, the part of the 25 Cent Play podcast where we're strictly video and we're strictly trolling in League of Legends as we teach Steve how to play.
I wouldn't say it's trolling.
Oh, no, it's trolling. I got a fisherman's hat.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, we're going to play some beginner bots, as is the style. And we make him play a champion he's never played before. And we yell at orders from the back of his head till at the end he has stock-count syndrome and he thinks that he's a pro.
Yep, and then he buys the champ.
And then
he plays the champ in ranked.
And then not pro.
And then he gets reported. And then that account gets banned.
Okay.
And then we start fresh next week.
Yep, Smurf accounts all around.
Yeah. There's
All
more
right,
Smurfs
so-
in this account than Papa's.
So who am I playing this week?
You're playing Jayce, the future of the man, or man of the future. He's really kind of...
I believe it's the Defender of Tomorrow
Sure thing.
is what his actual thing is.
He's from Piltover, which of course is the good guy scientist town, not the bad guy scientist town, which is inhabited by... listen to this row of miscreants. Singed, Warwick, Mundo, Victor. Yeah, those guys are up to no good. They really shouldn't be left to their own devices. I know that, like, your defense squad is freaking Caitlyn, the purple
Dinosaur?
top-hatted weirdo cop, and Heimerdinger, the brain monster, and now Jayce, the Hammer Man.
So Charlie, you've been playing a lot of Jayce. Can you tell us a little bit about his play style? And because I know,
he's got a swapping play style. He's kind of like Nadali. All his moves kind of all have a dual purpose. So he's in a way a little bit like Lee Sin. That fluidity is definitely something you need to work with. Apparently he would. I think he would actually work pretty well as a jungler. He definitely works as a top laner. I'm not 100% sold as him as a AD carry. And as a mid, see, the problem is that he really doesn't scale as well off of AP. He really scales off of damage. So it's kind of, you really wouldn't theoretically build him for mid lane because of that. We are going in mid lane.
or we're at least gonna try to.
Yeah,
We're gonna give it
but
a
that's
shot.
only for demonstrational purposes. So don't do what Donnie Don't does here in this case.
Approximate 5-minute wait time. Never
Or 5 second wait time.
I
Get 'em.
fight
All right,
for a
good.
brighter tomorrow.
All right, set your pages right. Make sure you take the right.
Oh yeah,
And
I still need 9 more points to finish the page, but this is how you would do your offense.
yeah,
Supposedly.
you're gonna do your basic AD. If you plan to go in the top lane, build a little tankier. If you plan to go in the bot lane, build a little damager. That's all you really need to worry about. He's not really an AP champ, like I said, so you wanna focus on just pouring out damage. And what you're gonna do is
Would he be a candidate for the Trinity Force? I see
he
it's
is
recommended.
he is heard. It is spoken that he is Mr. Trinity Force because you're going to be switching from abilities quick. So that means that things like the Sheen are going to be really useful. Having Zeal's just got too much benefit to it. I mean, like, you really have to be only like wholesale buying AP to not want a Zeal. And then getting it all put together as a Trinity Force, you're gonna have a great setup. What I've been doing, and I don't know if I'll recommend it this time because we're kind of gonna play this fast and loose here, but I've been doing like Aggie's a Legion and Trinity Force is my core, and that's been pretty good because you're giving a little to your team, you're getting a little for yourself. It's all good. Also, you can see he is also Metroid.
Yeah, I guess he is, isn't he?
Metroid. Good stuff.
All right.
All right, we got Lulu, Poppy, Nasus, and Nocturne.
And beginner bots.
So, Steve, you're going to buy a Q as your first move there. And you're going to get just some pots and some boots like they do on the video game.
Yeah, I heard
Nothing too
that
fancy.
when you start playing a game like this, you should buy boots and pots. And if you don't buy,
There's no like crazy like you could take the top lane with a Doran shield. That is definitely a possible thing.
Mhm.
If you're really into your support, you could pull out a Doran's blade if you were running bot lane. But more than likely what you want to just stick with is some boots and some pots. And he actually scales pretty well with just getting health potions. Just keep drinking health potions, and you're going to have enough innate tankiness that you should be okay. Also, he's not a hardcore rush on boots for second tier because he's got so many ways to enhance his speed. Every time you switch between the hammer and the gun, you get a speed boost. So that can kind of mitigate you not having the world's best boots early on.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a minute. So Nadali, like you said, he's like Nadali, who's sometimes a jungle cat and sometimes not. So he is both melee champ and ranged. What are you doing?
He clicked. They're going.
I clicked.
Oh.
Time to mid.
Also, you need to do the hammer dance. But as you were saying, Matt.
So he is both melee and ranged. That's the differentiator between his abilities. How do you feel about the melee?
You want to hit that button there, the R, as it were, Steve?
Hold on, I'm doing the hammer dance.
Okay, we got the hammer dance. All right, so now you're.
So he has no ultimate. His R is swapping between the two.
Which is unlocked as you begin the game. So.
Do you ever level it up?
Yes, constantly.
Pave the way.
So it's a lot to do with cooldowns. You get a big boost when you switch from function to function for the gun.
Wow.
Having it up and having it not up is
Poppy's ready to go.
switching between, being able to be like, oh, I'm doing melee, now I'm doing ranged. I would say as a pure damage dealer, the melee part of his kit is much
Feel free
better.
to give up now.
Farming, I've had a much easier time farming with the melee because he does an area effect attack.
This
And,
is what the future looks like.
But ranged, you have that large blast you'll get from your E.
Gotcha.
W seems to be the one that's kind of weird.
Did I scare you?
And now he's shooting confetti.
Gotcha.
So just get in there and do
Eyes
some
on the
early
horizon.
last hitting with the gun function, as you would. It should be just like any other AD you've ever played.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
A little slower, doesn't pack in a lot of punch, but you're just gonna
No.
get the early goodness. And then Nocturne's coming.
Nocturne's just going to
hang
show
out.
up and just be there.
Time to make a stand.
And I'll miss hits.
Yeah, no. If I'm not mistaken, I
believe
believe
it
that Annie has a much bigger range than you, so you're going to want to be careful with that.
Yeah, beginner bot Annie's a jerk. She always
Our
has
future
been.
will be bright.
So periodically, though, switch and see how that feels. You'll get the increased speed, and you're actually the move you have your Q for your hammer is pretty useful because it's going to give you a little area effect, so you can hit
Yeah.
several at once, which is nice.
That's how Charlie's been stealing all my creep kills when he shows up in my
Face the
lane.
future.
And you're going to switch back and forth just as quick as you can. You have pretty good mana. You'll find that when you unlock the, I guess would be your W.
Bring
I just
down the
unlocked it.
hammer.
Yeah. When you have it in hammer mode, you just replenish mana. So it's a good way to keep your mana handy. Now, this is the active mode, which
I
is a
will
lightning
light our
field.
path.
When it's not in the lightning field, it's you get a little mana back, which is fairly useful. Essentially, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna. I've found most success building Heart of Gold into pieces of the Trinity Force and getting Merc Treads and Aegis and Legion. That's been basically
a
what I've been
wrong
buying.
step.
But that's just buying good stuff. That's not a tailored build in any way. So we'll probably go in that direction. I think you might want to focus on getting a Sheen because
I'm
a
always
Sheen
ready.
definitely benefits.
Well, when so we're looking at the guide, the first guide that came up when Steve Googled probably Jayce build is boots and pots, double door and blades, and hex
Fully
drinker.
charged.
Hex drinker.
That's a damage-oriented build, of course.
Yeah.
Now, here's an important thing. Step back a little, Steve. Next time you're in a gun mode,
Never
let
look
me know.
back.
All right. One
so
second,
you
I will.
Swap that. Yeah.
There we go.
Now you've got your barrier. Let's set that up. That's going to be your E.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Drop
wow.
that down. Boom. Now, if you run
Oh,
through
this
that,
is
you'll
the
move
fast thing.
faster, right? Whoa.
I didn't even run through it.
If you run through it, you'll move faster, but what you want to do is shoot your W through it, and it will do a much more damage.
I have a feeling.
And that is your long-range poke, and I've had a lot of success with that. Because, A, people don't expect it to be as powerful as it is. It scales off of damage, which is pretty good for an ability. This is another reason why I just don't see AP builds really working out for Jayce and Dekoboko here.
Where did Annie go? Oh, there she is.
I will light our path.
So try putting that combo together. Drop the barrier and then shoot your Q through it.
Oh, yeah. Way to go, Annie.
Ridiculous damage.
Face the future.
Yes, some would say destined to be nerfed. I guess the only problem is the skill oriented in both dropping the shield and then firing the shot.
Never a wrong step.
And if I was better, I would have switched to the other mode.
Yeah, and then you switch to the hammer, and it again. This is chaining moves, which is, I think it's really good because if we go back to our old 25-cent play content about how games from this perspective are not that involved and you feel disconnected. I feel if you have all of 8 buttons you can hit,
I'm gonna enjoy this.
it makes you feel a little more action packed.
Oh, you got her. Yes.
How do I turn that off?
You don't have to.
Okay, that just wears
it's
down.
not like it's not a toggle.
I was like,
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
You're wasting all my mana.
Yeah.
So what are we doing money wise now?
We were at 11.
We're getting
34.
close to a sheen.
I'm always ready.
So now I really thought that the Sheen was like a more mana oriented or a more
It
AP
is,
oriented.
but the thing is, it gives you, after you use an ability, it gives you a bonus to your auto
Down
attack.
the hammer.
And since you're constantly using abilities with Jayce, you're going to really benefit from the
Oops.
sheet.
That's not what I wanted.
You'll find yourself switching
gonna
back and
enjoy
forth
this.
almost constantly. That's really kind of the way it works. You can do some crazy stuff. You'll notice that, again, that move where you lay down the barrier and then shot your...
I should be
Your other
should I be
move here?
maxing that up first, the barrier?
no, you want to max out your Q.
Okay.
That's what I've
I've been a little more focused on Qs.
So what does the Q do when you're in hammer mode? Is that the jump move?
Q is quite good. Yeah, it's the jump move. Now,
Eyes on
even
the
better,
horizon.
though, I would say, is your E, because that has a knockback. So when people come to gank you, hit them with that. And
Transformation complete.
this guy's got so many
Face
tools
the
in his
future.
this move that you can do with your Q, you will do a percentage damage based on the maximum health, which of course means that when you're fighting the Warwicks
look
that have
back.
1,000 hit points, you're doing tremendous damage to them. Anything that's got a lot of health but not a lot of magic resist or a lot, not a lot of armor, they're going to take tremendous damage from that.
Oops.
Really good to get in there, get in the fray. You up to 1,200 yet?
Actually, I am. Let me
Why don't you
let me just push this out right here and see if we
throw
can
down
get.
one of them
Yeah,
barriers?
Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button.
Yeah, use that field too, the W, when you're trying to soak up the damage. Most of the farming, I would say, is you're going to have just a much easier time with the melee. Toggling
right to
between
Sheen, huh?
Q and
Yep.
Q and W, you can do some good stuff.
Without fear.
Yeah, there you go. So now you'll see just above your abilities, there will be a little sheen rock that pops up every time.
she had
you
to
use
stop.
sheen.
Yeah.
Breakthrough progress.
Yeah, this is what you're doing right there. That's some variation on that will eventually.
Yeah, a
let
little
you
more. If I
kill.
was putting out a little bit more damage, it would have been okay.
And you see how fast. So it's pretty good, pretty good. I like him. He's fast. Again, I believe he does have some good jungling potential because of that.
Bring down the hammer.
The hammer, there is some differentiations of magic resist when he has that going, but like armor resist when he has the hammer out.
Do you do more damage with auto attack one way or the other?
I think you do more damage with the hammer.
I was asking just because when Steve's got coverage, like attacking a turret, you're probably better off doing it with the hammer.
Now, if it's Q, hit W.
Okay.
You'll notice you'll do a more rapid shot.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
attack speed
yeah.
goes up. So that's a good thing to do in those cases.
Yeah, I probably should have used the hammer on that tower instead of just standing there shooting at it.
That's okay. Use your hammer on Annie and it'll work.
Time to make a stand.
And the Merc Treads I've found have been the best shoes, just because they're always a safe buy. He doesn't really benefit from lots of attack speed, more so than he would have, and as anyone else would probably. You know, Ninja Tabby's great, but generally speaking, you end up needing more magic resist than you need armor.
That was a mess.
You know, you play that accordingly. Cooldown boots not really valuable to him. You notice the cooldowns are kind of.
They seem okay. Yeah.
Never a wrong step.
I've as far as best friend sword variation weapons, I've tried both Infinity Edge and Bloodthirster. I found Infinity Edge is a little bit better. You get those extra crits in there. So that, you know, if you were going to get an item maybe after your Trinity Force, Infinity Edge might be a great choice. You kind of build a lot of stuff on him. It's really a Wild West because he's so
Annie
new.
and her stun.
But he's pretty straightforward. Once you kind of get your fingers under him, I think it has a lot to do with like playing him. So I expect
it's a little odd getting used to kind of the.
I expect free week to really sell
So
him
since
pretty straightforward.
So since you went right to Sheen without getting any Doran's items, Charlie, like what is the next thing?
I feel
what is
like
the
I'm
next
not
price
putting
point
out
you
enough
want him
damage.
to buy at?
What?
What is the next thing you want him to buy? Like, do you want to?
I
Is he
would
going to buy
say
anything
Zeal
other than working
or
to the Trinity Force?
I would buy something else that contributes toward that Trinity Force, like get them all, or
well, I would think the
Phage.
Ruby Crystal that builds into the Phage,
Yeah, the
depending
Phage, that's
depending
what I
on
mean.
money. Like if he has to buy it, if he has to like be back for some reason or buy something before he has money to buy the Zeal outright, I think that the Ruby Crystal is a better standalone item than either component to the Zeal.
I'm always ready.
he's got a great amount of movement speed built into him, which is not really on display right now. But like if he was trying to get up to top or bottom lane, you know, remember you're getting you're getting movement speed buff every time you switch the weapon, and when you run through that the barrier, you're going to do a lot. You're going to speed up a lot, as will your teammates if you catch them. That has no offensive potential, unfortunately.
All right, so I am at 11, and I'm going to be back right now.
Yeah,
You might be able to get a Zeal, or you at least can get Merc Treads. So yeah,
Now Merc Treads are purely defensive.
magic resist
Yeah.
plus tenacity, and that tenacity is
I'm
worth
getting
its
my
weight in
Merc
gold.
Dreads.
I will light our path.
Yeah, I guess my problem with tenacity is it's not a mathematical explanation of like if somebody's stun lasts a second or 2 seconds, like how does plus 35 tenacity decrease
The
that
funny
effect?
thing is that you can't get more than 35 because none of the tenacity items stack on one another. So 35's it. And this game is so filled with crowd control measures that you might as well have it. You know, unless you are just purely a carry, you can see how much damage. Remember, get you that lightning field up.
Oh, yeah.
We've gotten a lot of kills with that lightning field.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of damage. You were too far in the minion line there.
Yeah.
Swap.
Yeah. Okay, so back to base.
How much money do you have?
404
Yeah,
and
you
5.
can get some part of the.
You can buy the
Brawler's Glove.
I would go with the attack speed. Charlie, you like crits, man, but that's like
Crits
dice rolling.
crits are good, and I do not have enough for.
You do now. That's why I said you do now.
Dagger.
That's why I said you would. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with crits because I like crits too. Crits are
Alright, it's
good.
player choice, man.
We'll see more damage. Like it's hard because of more damage versus.
It's not more damage; it's
speed and-
attack speed.
well-
right? Oh, yeah, the crit would be more damage, but it's
But you would
guaranteed
crit more
attack
often.
speed.
Yeah. So, I like seeing those big red
Well, that's
numbers.
why
Oh my
this-
god,
that's
what is
why
going
this-
on up top?
That's why the zeal is great, is because you attack more and crit more, and that's why it's like, which component do you buy? It's like, well, like more crit likelihood or just more attacks.
Pave the way.
Did you teleport up here?
Yeah.
Leona, I played a all random all mid game.
Oh god,
We beat her up so
I'm
bad
outta
she
here.
bounced around like a pool ball. It was so good.
I did teleport up there, but now I'm
gonna
leaving.
enjoy this.
I will take.
You want to switch to?
Yeah. Oh, or. Oh man, I'm saying this one.
Our future.
Yeah, get her.
I'm kind of having the feeling that there's really like that cannon itself is just not that useful. Like he is a good melee champion that has this extra feature known as this. I can shoot some stuff sometimes.
Yeah, so Steve, remember when you put up the force field, the closer you can get it
Ah.
to you, the better. Because it's not the enemy going through it, it's your attacks going through it and you going
I
through
will
it.
light our path.
Very nice.
That was a little sloppy, but we did manage to kill him.
I just like this guy because he's like crazy bombastic. Like everything is exploding. Like the sound it makes when you run through the gate. It's good stuff. One thing you will find is when you shoot your Q through the gate, you get a small amount of vision, so you can do crazy things like jump over walls using that and switching. That's a new dance technique that Freak showed off in the Jayce
In the Jayce video.
Jayce video there. But you're not Karthus, so
Ooh.
you know, make sure you can put that as close to you as possible, because as long as you're shooting through it, it's good.
Yeah. And if they walk through it,
Never
in
look-
fact,
It doesn't
that's a
do
good
anything.
counter thing to Jayce is that if that goes up, run through it so his projectile can't go through.
Yeah, because if it hits you before, it does nothing. Like, and if it hits minions, it does. That's just not really what you probably wanted. But definitely get in there, like if you're building, getting those big E strikes off where you're just knocking them
Nice.
back, and they're taking enormous amounts of damage because it's based on their health. You can really see how like he could carry a team fight pretty healthily. Plus he's got that new jump animation, which was real popular with Dyrus. So
All right, so I guess we'll go into
Darius,
my
excuse me.
zeal.
Yep.
yeah, go for a zeal. It'll make you fast.
Maybe
You're
I'll
gonna
go
get
for
phage, or
phage
you know,
next.
I wouldn't say buying a Legion is that much fun in
Never
a
a
bot
wrong
game.
step.
But it is very useful, especially in team fights, because you'll probably be in the thick of it with your team. He's not really a standoff character, though that large
Powering
range poke can be really awesome when you need it. Holding down a tower with that is it's been really good. It's been really good.
Yeah, it's a little weird getting
Time to
used to
make a
kind of the
stand.
double
Yeah.
bar. But
Knowing that you,
see, and I'm
but
on the
nice
wrong. I
thing
was just
too
on the
is
wrong
having,
one.
Having like, oh, I can switch, and the other side's got cooldowns that I can make use of. So you can really just, keep cycling back.
Oh, you gonna get her? Almost.
I got caught up on. I got caught up on the minions.
Drop that gate.
That's why I always play Janna, so you can clip through shit.
Yeah.
You also,
Oh, and
speaking
I
of
missed
clipping
Nunu.
through shit, when you switch your stances or your gun to hammer, you also ignore unit detection, because there's a new chance and they have to put everything in there. So you're a little bit of Heckram, a little bit of Fizz.
Pave the way.
Don't let Nuno get your boy, and make sure you get it.
Come at me, boy.
Yeah, there you go. Steal that kill. That was you see it, you take it.
Never a wrong step.
It's like fucking Grace Jones. There you go. That's a good hit.
Strength through progress.
So yeah, I don't know if you're getting a feel for this at all in this
Hey,
case, but
it's-
you can see that he as a carry is kind of hard to imagine. as far as range goes. I mean, you'd have to presuppose that you'd have like a Bloodthirst or an Infinity Edge and all that crazy stuff, but I still would want to, as soon as I got close enough, to just go right into those melee moves, because they're, you get the stun from the kickback, you get
Oh, I hit a minion.
the area effect, and you get that
get out of there.
you get that electricity field. All those things seem like they're so good at finishing off. So if you can move in with your range and then go to melee, it's not a case where it's like, oh, I'm gonna play AD carry, so I have to be really I need to be range oriented. No. Think of it as like I'm Graves, and then at the end I'm, Riven, and that really is gonna like
Time to make a
allow you
stand.
to get
An enemy has been
heals.
I like heals.
Our future will be bright.
Good spells for him. I think Exhaust and Ignite will both work pretty well. Teleport's fine. Ghost is kind of useless since he does get that ability to avoid hit detection, and he is pretty fast as he is. That being said, I'm sure like if you played Jayce in Dominion, you'd get Ghost because everyone takes Ghost.
Everybody loves Ghost.
I have not used Ghost since I got Flash.
Yeah.
Powering up.
Ah,
Yeah, remember to try to keep that in as close to you as possible.
yeah.
Like,
When in doubt,
very nice.
just do that big
Sure
hammer.
has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, Jayce is a lot more like a fighting game than most of the
Yeah,
rest of the Legends.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what Lee Sin's kind of like too. So very, very
Fully
similar idea.
charged.
Now, Steve, if I told you that they made a Warhammer 40K skin for Jayce, would you take out your credit card?
Yeah, it's just seeing the hammer. You
Never look back.
know where it's from. Yes, in fact, my credit card is already saved in League of Legends. I have the Warhammer 40K pre-order bonus
Eye
stuff.
on the horizon.
The Word Bearers,
Yes.
the Word Bearer skin for
Yes,
Rise.
we are
It's
the
all
word
good.
bearers.
Remember to run through it so you get that speed, and then just turn around and run the other way.
Yeah. Double color.
I will
You,
light
actually,
up
what's
that.
nice if you put it vertically and then like run through the entire thing, because you'll get bonus through the whole thing.
Ah.
There's lots of fun little things.
Without
All right, I'm gonna.
Oh, Sona alt. Least of my favorite alts.
Seen a little pro AP Sona play today. She seemed pretty dangerous.
has been slain. Bring down the hammer.
So, as we'll remind you, this is beginner practice.
Yeah. So.
This is not like the world's most brutal stomp you've ever seen. But we just kind of want to look at the
Just get a
mechanics
feel
of
for
the
the champion.
Yeah, you can see like with the electricity field and a lot of his melee moves, he could do some serious damage in the jungle. I mean, you light that off with the you light off. How much money you got?
I have 1,000.
Get,
Oh,
the
get a
crystal.
recurve bow. Recurve bow.
For the wit's end.
Yeah.
He's probably 50 short of that. Oh,
I got
nope,
the
he's got
recurve.
it.
Yeah. Well, attack speed.
I will light up
Always.
that.
I don't know if I'm gonna get to use it because we're probably gonna be done by then. Oh, well, maybe.
Shell port up.
my teleport
He's
is
not.
used.
He's not really prone to really tricky pet play. I mean, if you like to be really physically engaged with your champion, I think he's going to be a really great choice. Like if you like Darius in the top lane, if you like to play Nidali, if you like to play Lee Sin, if you like to play who else is kind of in this
Never look back.
wheelhouse? I don't know, but like if you're looking for a top laner that you could probably take into the jungle, and you could also probably play as a range carry.
Oh, I
if
don't want to
worse
be
came
Poppy.
to worse.
Hi, Poppy.
Yeah,
Powering
Jayce
up.
is going to be a great choice for that. And I would say, as far as picking up his moves, he's really not that complex. I mean, he does have a little trick to him, but much like what you're saying with
Strength
Graves
through
in the
progress.
podcast, you're there to do damage. It's not like you don't have to worry about magic damage, and it's like not. Oh yeah, there's a true damage modifier. You don't have to do any math for Jayce. You just bash people in.
Wait, we have to do math? Oh, man.
There's lots of champ you have to do stupid math for.
Time to
Annie
make a
for one.
stand.
every fourth spell, she
Close to
can-
you, remember? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now run through
Yeah.
it so you get the speed boost.
I'm working on it. She had stunned me.
Then switch and get her with the thing. Yeah, nice.
Hit her again, and then keep it.
Yeah, and then do that. Yeah.
And then
That's how
kill
you
her.
kill people.
See, now, if that were to happen to me in a game, Charlie, I would deem that to be OP bullshit.
If you were on the receiving end.
Yes. That you just did so many things that weren't auto attacks.
There were a few auto
And
attacks
to
in
the,
there.
to the extent, like, the difference between Nadali and this is Jayce is made with the intent that you are switching back and forth between the two modes. Nadali is, I pick this mode, and if I want to switch in between,
That
that's
was
going to
very
be a
aced.
unique situation. Every 4 seconds,
always ready.
Jayce can basically switch. And with that in mind, that means that, you know, it's built in there. It's how often can I pull this off? How much damage can I do?
I guess we won.
Super minions are just right. Take that, GG bots.
Yeah, you bots. That's why I didn't all GG. Because they're just bots. Yeah, no, he's definitely fun. Especially against beginner bots where
Yeah.
you can just...
And he moves
kill them.
moves really well when you're not when you kind of are like, what is going to be my role on this team? This is not the most defined thing. I cannot wait until how the pros figure out how he fits into the game. But you know, right now he's really great for pubs because you can just get in there and like, oh, you don't want to play that position because you suck. Okay, cool, I'll do it. Top lane, okay, I can do that. You know, basically, if you take Smite, you might be able to cover any position from the beginning of the game, mid included. Not so. Basically, what I'm saying is, Jayce is the new Teemo. Enjoy.
Thank you for joining us on Second to Last Hit. We'll see you next time.